Tip job. Yes, here. One thing stands out. You believe that education is power. They understood that access to learning, and access to opportunity, and to voice that our democracy. The civil rights movement didn't just change us. It opened classroom doors and spent that. It was good. That we could fully participate in society. As students today, we believe education must remain accessible, empowering, and rooted in history. When every student has access to meaningful education, we honor that legacy and strengthen our future. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Timber Johnson. I would like to open with a quote by John Lewis. Ours is not the struggle of one day, 1 week, or 1 year. Ours is not the struggle of one judicial appointment or presidential term. Ours is the struggle of a lifetime, or maybe even many lifetimes, and each of us in every generation must do our part. This quote can be seen in many ways, but I interpret this as a message that details how marginalized communities in a detail of
That's okay.
in how change is not instant. That true change is something that rests each generation after the last, doing more for the generation after them. But the only way for future generations to understand what change needs to be made is to teach them not only what change has been made, but why change needed to be made. The students deserve to understand the full scope of the history of the country they live in, country they live in, and so they can take it upon themselves to understand what change needs to be made. We can take inspiration from John Lewis through his idea that education creates access, opportunity, that is not about us.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm Sonia Cole, and I'm a student who is in support of creating good trouble and defending independent thinking. Our goal is the cultivation of courage and critical thinking as citizens who will grow up to accomplish just as much as John Lewis did in his lifetime. Schools must teach students not just to consume information, but to question it, to challenge it, and to wrestle with it as many did before us. For this, media literacy must be embedded in the curricula, alongside dedicated mental health education systems, since resilience without reasoning is fragile, and reasoning without resilience is unstable. AI is not the threat, but intellectual dependency is. Thank you.
Good afternoon, I am Nate. When you see something that is not right, not just, not fair, you have a moral obligation to say something, to do something. John Lewis said this at Arthur Washington, a march that helped change the hearts and minds of a nation. The march incorporated people of all walks of life and helped raise awareness for the needs of the disenfranchised. We learned about the needs of individuals in school, and our group hopes to help realize the dream of incorporating everyone within the American dream.
Never, ever be afraid to make some noise and get into good trouble, necessary trouble. Hello, I am Colby Gallo, and I'm one of your co-leaders for the Sole Purpose the Good Trouble Project. As you've heard throughout this year, we have encouraged our club members and the people in our community to make good trouble and to use their voices to make an impact. That's exactly what we're here doing today. As the Good Trouble Project, we conducted multiple voter registration drives in order to encourage civic engagement, which should also be encouraged in the classroom. We believe that curriculum should directly influence voter registration and how to actually vote, as well as how to use your voice in a situation where you need to. This should also be encouraged in a respectful manner and should also help the students be able to do whatever they can to make a positive impact in their environment.
We met with the young John Lewis main actor and discussed how we can better impact and speak about the life of John Lewis. We took our learning even deeper with the National Center of Civil and Human Rights, and we created a new student-friendly website for teachers. We joined with the Fulton County Teaching Museum Untying the Knot Initiative and partnered with the Library of Congress grant. We were able to develop a new curriculum on desegregating of Fulton County schools. We strengthened our partnership with the Smithsonian and the Atlanta Regional Council, researching leadership with the historic Bailey Johnson School. We were also selected as the first school in Fulton County to participate in the STEP program, which will mean that our students will be trained as poll workers in the upcoming May election. Standing with me today is only a fraction of the greatness behind this project.
My fellow students, including some who could not be here with us today, have dedicated their time, energy, and their words to a cause much greater than any of us. If you were to ask any one of us what do we care about the most, you'll get a different answer. But at the end of the day, we are here about education and education only, because this is the only real way change can be made. In honor of John Lewis, we want to encourage equal access opportunity through education. More than ever, there are incredible opportunities to expand young minds, yet schools here in Georgia are possibly closing. Soon, you will hear from my peers, and I ask not that you just only listen, but you feel the urgency to take action and to figure out a way to make a change. We believe legislation is a great way to be a part of making that change. We are here today not to just be heard, but to help shape the laws, shape our lives, because students deserve a voice in every room where a decision is made. Thank you, Mr. Tindall.